Hello students. So students, in the previous class, we were talking in this chapter, getting to know the plants, about that of the roots and that of the leaves. So roots we have completed students, and we were, roots and that of the stems. Okay, so roots we had completed and the stem also. And in the last class of students, we discussed about the stem of the plant. So what is the stem, students? You are knowing that the upper portion or the part of the plant which is just above to the ground, that part is known as the stem of the plant. And it helped the plant to stand upright, or it helped the plant to move vertically in the upward direction. If we talk about the function of the stem, student, so there are a lot of function of the stem. The first function, that it helps in keeping the plant at upright or at a place. Okay. The second, students, we can say that it help in absorbing the water as well. So stem is having, students, they are having a function of absorption of water, as well as it will also help in carrying the food and food to the different parts of the plant. So first of all, root is there, and root used to absorb the water, and now it is a turn of the stem to carry the water and mineral from that of the roots to the leaves, so that the preparation of the food can take place easily in the leaves by the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so this is the first, you can say, that a function. Although we had discussed that it helped in keeping the plant upright, it helped in keeping the plant erect. So not only it used to carry the water, students, but I told you that if we talk about the third function, so it will help in carrying. Now the food is prepared in the leaves, so it is the responsibility of the stem to take the food and distribute it to the different parts of the plant. Okay, so it will take the food from the leaves and distribute it to the different parts of the plant. Okay, so it used to take the water and mineral to the leaves and carry the food from the leaves to the different parts of the plant. Fourth one is that it helps in holding the leaves. Okay, you are knowing that these stems get divided into branches, and the branches, it holds the leaves. So it holds the leaves in such a way that the leaves get the sufficient amount of sunlight. And if it will get the sufficient amount of sunlight, the process of photosynthesis can take place easily. So we can say that it helps in holding the leaves in a proper way. If we talk about the stem, students, so basically there are two types of a tube that we understood with the help of the function itself. One tube is there which used to carry the water and mineral from that of the roots to the stem. And one is there, from the roots to that of the leaves. And one tube is there which used to carry the food from the leaves to the different part of the plant. So first tube, students, if we talk one tube, student, so one tube, it helps in carrying the water from root to leaves. This is the function of first tube. If we talk the second tube, students, so it helps in carrying the food from leaves to different parts of the plant. Different parts of plants. Okay, so it used to carry the food to the different parts of the plant. Let me tell you one more thing, students. The name of this tube which used to carry the water and mineral from the root to that of the leaves is known as xylem. And the tube which is responsible for carrying the food from the leaves and distribute it to the different parts of the plant, that is known as phloem. So one is known as xylem and another one is known as phloem. Okay, now this one is all about that of the stem. So whenever the question is asked that which tube used to carry the water and mineral from the roots to the leaves, you will say it is the xylem which used to carry the food which used to carry the water and mineral from that of the roots to the leaves, and phloem is that tube which used to carry the food from the leaves to the different part. One carry water mineral, other carry food. Now we will move to the next one, students, and that is leaf. Leaf is what? Yesterday also I had just started this topic and I just informed you that you see, whenever we look at the tree, it appears green. We say that all the plants are supposed to be increase the greenery around us, and this green is because of the presence of the leaves. So it is the leaves which is green in color which makes the upper portion of the plant green. And if you see the leaves, students, you will find that the leaves are of different shape, leaves are of different size, even the leaves are of a different margin also. You see, some of them are having smooth margin and some of them they are having the rough margin. Okay, so we can say that shape vary, size vary, as well as the margin also varies. You will see in some plant the shape and the size of the plant is smaller, and in some one it is the larger one. It's somewhere it is pointed like in case of a people, and somewhere it is a blunt like in case of a banana. So you see that shape and size it varies. Okay, now if we talk about the leaves, so although the shape and size varies, but their basic structure is common. Basic structure is common. How, students? So what is that structure? So if we see the leaves, so this is a structure of a leaf. Somewhere, student, if you see the margin of the leaves, here the margin is the smooth margin. In some of the leaves, you have seen the margin is not as smooth like, but it is like having the, now you can say it is not smooth, but it is a rough margin, or it is having the blades on the margin. So you can see, students, but the basic structure is common. So let me tell you what are the things here. If okay, now you see here, students, this is the petiole. This is the leaf lamina. Then these are what? It is the middle portion, the line which goes at the middle of the leaf, that is known as midrib. And these veins, these small lines are known as veins. And in between them also, student, if you see, the structure is like they used to cut each other. So they used to cut each other, and that is known as veinlets. So one is vein, one is veinlet. This is what, student, this is the tip. And the same thing you will see here also. If this is the stem, if this is the stem of the plant, so this one is known as the petiole. Since it is having this structure, so we can call it a blade are also present in it. This is what it is, the tip, students. In between, this is the midrib. Okay, and then these structures which used to come outside, which used to come from the midrib, that is known as veins. And in between, students, you will see a lot of intersection has been occurred. So this is what, student, this is known as the veinlets, which is present in between that of the two veins. Okay, so either their size varies, either the structure you see it varies, but some of the basic thing is there, the basic structure is a common. So what is the thing you are seeing? That basically this leaf consisting of a two main part. One is the petiole and the another one is this leaf lamina. This whole portion, student, that is known as a leaf lamina. Okay, this whole portion, when you see the upper surface of the leaf, that portion is known as the leaf lamina. The broad flat surface that you see or over the surface of the leaf, that is known as the leaf lamina. Okay, and this the stalk like a structure, which is also known as a leaf stalk, which remain attached to the stem of the plant, remain attached to the branches of the plant, that is known as the petiole. So one portion, one major portion is the petiole and the another one is that of the leaf lamina. Okay. So we can say that basically this leaf I am writing it here, students, that a leaf consisting of two main parts. Two main parts. The first one is the leaf lamina and the another one is the petiole. Okay, so petiole is that stalk-like a structure which is attached to the branches of the plant, that is known as petiole, and the another one, the flat structure which is the part of the leaf, students, that we call as a leaf lamina. One is leaf lamina, second one is the petiole. Now let us write about the leaf lamina. Now see, student, if we talk about the leaf lamina, this leaf lamina is also called as a leaf blade. It is known as a leaf blade. And if we talk about the petiole, that is known as a leaf stalk. So one is known as a leaf blade or leaf lamina, another one is known as a leaf stalk. Okay. So if we describe, if we see, students, the definition of that of the leaf lamina, so we can write it here that leaf lamina is the broad flat part of the plant, of the leaf. Okay, broad flat part of the leaf. Okay, that is known as the leaf lamina. This whole portion, upper surface, the green part, that is known as the leaf lamina. If we talk about the petiole, students, so petiole is what? Let me draw the diagram at the side and then we will continue to write. So I can draw the diagram here, students. Okay. So here this is the this is what, student, this is the tip. If we talk that this is what this is, students, this is the petiole. This is what? This is the margin. Okay, this is the margin and this whole portion is known as the leaf lamina. In the leaf lamina, this is the mid portion, that is known as the midrib. And here this one, this veins like a structure, that is known as the veins, and finally this is known as the veins. So these are the different parts of the leaves. Okay, so till now student we talk about the leaf, lamina. Now we will move forward and see the definition of the petiole. So if we see the petiole students, so we can write it the thin stalk by which the leaf is attached to the stem of the plant, that is known as the petiole. Okay, the thin stalk through which the leaves are attached to the stem of the plant, attached to that of the stem of the plant, to the stem of the plant, stem of the plants, that is known as the petiole. This is the thin stalk-like a structure which is attached to the stem of the plant, and that is why we use the term for it, that is known as a petiole. Okay. Now, if you see students, then you will find that from this petiole only, you can say a line which goes very straight and reaches to the tip. It started from that of the petiole and reaches to the tip. This is what basically you can say it is a kind of a vein, a thick line you can see which started from the petiole and reaches to the tip, that we call as a main vein. Okay, because it is carrying, vein is water which used to carry the things, okay, either the water or the minerals. So these are the veins which are which are responsible for carrying the water and minerals to the leaves. So this is the main vein student which started from the petiole and reaches to the tip of the plant. Now this is, since it is going to the middle of the leaf, that is why this main vein which passes through the middle of the leaf is known as the midrib. Okay, so we can say that there is a midrib. If you see the structure, there is a midrib, and this midrib is also known as main vein. Midrib or main vein, which passes through the center of the leaf, center of the leaf. Okay, you can also write that it extend from petiole to the tip of the leaf. That is the tip student. So it is started from that of petiole and it ends at the tip of the leaf, and it is known as the midrib. Now if you see the structure, you will also find that from the midrib a lot of small veins has also arises from that of the midrib. You can see here students, these are what? These are the small veins. So we can say that not only a main veins but a large number of veins arises out from that of the midrib. Okay. So we can write it now, that is a large number of veins, because you see student, from the midrib a lot of veins are there. I have drawn this much, means if you see it, a lot of veins comes out of it. So a large number of veins arises from the midrib and spread to the leaves, So it arises from that of the midribs and it gets spread overall to the leaves, students. Okay. Now you see, in between the two two veins. If we talk, this is a vein and this one is also a vein. So in between these two veins, a small veins are also present. They used to cross each other. It means they are interlinked with each other. They used to crisscross each other, students. So that you can say they are those very small veins and we call it as a veinlets. So with the veins, smaller veins are also present and that is veinlet. So they have connected one vein to that of the other veins. Okay, you can see midrib is there. Now midrib, from the midrib, different veins they came out and reaches to the all the part of the leaves. In between that of the two veins, students, there are small, very fine, smaller veins are present which used to interlink with each other. They used to cross each other, or it's a kind of a connection between the two veins, and we use the term for it, that is veinlet. So we can write it in between the veins, very fine veins are present which used to interlinked with each other, and what is the name we called it, students? And that is known as a veinlet. Okay, it is known as a veinlet. Okay, so one is there which is known as veinlet. Now basically, what is the roles of the vein? What is the role of a veins here, students? So these veins are what? It used to carry the small tubes, and these tubes consisting of water and minerals in it. So we can say that it is through the veins only the water and the minerals which is present, which is coming through the stem, reaches to that of the leaves of the plant. So we can say that midrib and the veins used to carry various small tubes which used to carry water, minerals, to the leaf and food away from the leaf. So you can see, students, we can say that the small veins are present here. Now these veins, they are attached with the stem. Okay, so this stem is carrying the water, and this stems consisting of a small tube. Now these small tubes, you can say that from this petiole, it reaches to the tip of the plant. Now, while going to through this petiole, means through the main vein, this vein is again divided into the smaller veins. So the water, the tubes will also enter into the different veins, and from the vein it will enter into the veinlets. So you can say that the various tubes which is coming from that of the stem reaches to the leaves of the plant, and there it used to carry the water and mineral to the leaves. Now the leaves will take that water and perform the process of photosynthesis. Now when the food is prepared, the same tube, it helps in carrying the food material from that of the tubes and make it connected with the stem. Now the stem used to carry the food to the different parts of the plants. Okay, so we can say that the small various tubes are present there in the leaves, which used to carry the food and the leaf, food and the water to the leaf or away from that of the leaf. Okay. Now this is the things that we used to see in the leaves. So we have seen that when you pluck a leaf, students, what are the things that you observe? First of all, a stalk-like a structure will be there from where you are plucking the leaf from the plant. That structure is known as a petiole. Then a green leaf is there, student, a leaf lamina is there. That is the flat, broad like a structure, which is also known as a leaf blade. Then you see, students, what we will observe, a thick main vein is there which extends from that of the petiole to the tip of the plant. That is known as a main vein or midrib. From that of a midrib, smaller veins it extend out and reaches to the different parts of the same leaf lamina, and that is known as the veins. In between the veins, the smaller veins are connected together with each other. That is known as veinlet. So these are the things you will observe when you pluck a leaf. Now, when you take this leaf and kept it under the microscope, what are the things that you are going to observe? So you see, you will observe that there are, you will see, student, when you take this leaf and keep it under the microscope, you will see that there are very small, minute pores are present here. These small, minute pores which is present over the surface of the leaf is known as stomata. You see, it can vary with the plants also. In some of the plant it is present at the upper surface, in other plant it is present at the lower surface. But it is present at the surface of the leaf only. So when you keep it under the microscope, you will observe a small minute pores that is known as the stomata. So you can write it that there are many minute pores which is present on the surface of the leaf, that is leaf lamina, called as stomata, which is called as stomata. Now you see, students, the pores which we call as stomata, its role is it help in exchanging the gases. Okay, so basically with the help of the stomata only the plants they used to take the oxygen and they used to release the carbon dioxide. Not only this, it also help in the process of transpiration. When you look at the leaf, you are not going to observe the stomata until and unless you are keeping this leaf under the microscope. Only then you are able to see the small leaves or small minute pore that is known as the stomata. Okay, so if we talk about the function of the stomata, students, so the function of the stomata is the role of stomata in leaf. Role of stomata in leaf, students, so that will be first one, it helps in exchanging the gases to move in and out of the plant. So it helps in taking the oxygen, taking the carbon dioxide and releasing the oxygen. So first of all, it helps in exchanging the gases. Second one, students, we can write it. Second one is, that is, it helps in allowing the excess water to escape. The excess water to escape from leaves. Okay, so not only that it help in exchanging the gases to move in and out from that of the plant's leaf, of the leaf. So it not only helping exchange of gases from that of the leaf, it means it help in taking in that of the gases and releasing it outside, as well as it help us or it allow the excess amount of water to get removed in the form of water vapor. So excess amount of water, it means the water which has been used by the plant now, they are that water is just useless, they will not going to use it. So that kind of a water, it will get evaporate from the stomata only in the form of a water vapor. So basically the function of the stomata, whenever the question is asked, you will write it. It helps in exchanging the gases to move in and out, as well as it allow the water, excess water to escape from the leaves in the form of water vapor. Okay.